When we think of war, we usually picture open battlefields. But in the 21st century, the most important conflicts, they aren't always fought out in the open. They're waged in the shadows, and they're executed with terrifying digital precision from miles above the Earth. So today, we're going to break down the anatomy of a modern strike. It all begins with this one really stark reality. Modern war is a hunt. But it's not a hunt for territory anymore. It's a hunt for individuals. And that brings us to the central question, doesn't it? How exactly is this hunt conducted when the prey is surrounded by layers of steel, concrete, and state-of-the-art defenses, all designed to make them utterly untouchable? Well, the answer begins long before any missile is launched. It starts in a different kind of theater of operations, one where information is the only weapon that truly matters. Welcome to the Shadow War. And this war is guided by a single principle: information dominance. It's a simple but powerful idea. If you know everything about your adversary, their location, their habits, their communications, then you control the battlefield before the first shot is even fired. So what are the tools? It's a vast, invisible machine. Intelligence agencies use a sophisticated web of low Earth orbit satellites to watch from above. They hack encrypted communication channels. And of course, they rely on highly placed human spies deep within a regime. It's how they build a complete, painstaking picture of a target's life, all in absolute secrecy. And that brings us right to the technological heart of this whole operation: the constant, unblinking surveillance from orbit. This whole methodical process has a name, and it's pretty chilling. It's known as the orbital kill chain. See, once a high-value target is identified, reconnaissance satellites are tasked. And from that moment on, a constant stream of data just starts to flow. Intercepted signals, real-time movements, all of it painting an incredibly detailed picture of their life, all from space. Just think about that for a second. There's literally nowhere to hide. The sky itself becomes a silent, all-seeing battlefield. But surveillance is one thing. Actually striking is another. And this is where we see that timeless conflict of offense versus defense, of the fortress and the key that's designed to unlock it. These high-value targets, they don't live out in the open. No way. They operate from deep subterranean bunkers. We're talking about command centers buried under layers and layers of earth and reinforced concrete, physically separated from the world, sealed off from pretty much any threat. And so a very specific key had to be engineered to pick this very specific lock: the deep penetration munition, more commonly known as the bunker buster. This is basically a technological arms race in miniature. The fortress has all these layers of concrete, right? Well, the key has a casing made from a hardened artillery barrel to punch right through it. The fortress is deep underground. The key has a delayed action fuse, so it doesn't explode on impact. It waits until after it has penetrated to the heart of its target. But having the right weapon, that's just one piece of an immense logistical puzzle. Next up is orchestrating the strike itself. To strike a single high-value target, it can require a literal armada. We're talking about a strike force of around 200 aircraft, fighters, bombers, electronic warfare planes, and refueling tankers, all moving in a flawlessly synchronized aerial campaign, often across hundreds of miles of hostile airspace. And that massive force, it isn't just focused on one building. In a single operation, they might strike nearly 3,000 other targets at the exact same time. The goal is to create a window of opportunity by blinding radar, destroying missile batteries, and sowing absolute chaos in command centers. In effect, paralyzing an entire nation's defense system in a single blow. But even with all this technology, all this power and planning, the outcome is never, ever guaranteed. There is always the fragility of certainty. The reality is, success often hinges not just on flawless execution, but on a mistake made by the adversary. A single error, one brief moment of vulnerability. That's the opening that months or even years of planning are designed to exploit. A mission can fail for countless reasons. The intelligence can be wrong, the blueprints for a bunker might be inaccurate. In one documented case, the entire success of a strike came down to a simple choice made by the target: to use a shallower, less protected facility on that specific day. A different choice would have meant survival. It's a sobering reminder that even the most advanced systems are vulnerable to the human element. And all of this, it points to a fundamental shift in the very nature of conflict. We're seeing a move away from armies and battle lines to a much more singular focus. What we're witnessing is a move from wars of attrition to what you could call wars of decapitation. Instead of defeating massive armies on the field, the objective now is to surgically remove the leadership that commands them through precision, intelligence-driven strikes. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. In this new era of warfare, the battlefield is no longer a geographical location. The battlefield is a person. Which leaves us with a final and pretty unsettling question to consider. In a world where this technology exists, a world where the hunt can be conducted from orbit, and a strike can be delivered through meters of reinforced concrete, who is truly safe?